Hello, Crypto Finder crew. Cole back today with another NFT video. Today I'm going to show you my experience with buying my first NFT, explain to you the 101, everything you need to know, all the terminology. Full disclosure before we get started, I'm not in any way associated with the project. However, my friend is involved and I will be talking to him in this video, covering a bunch of questions that I had back in December when we had this conversation, to answer all my questions and for him to give me a better insight into how the project was built and how it's looking to achieve its roadmap. This project hasn't sponsored me. I've actually purchased all of these NFTs from this project with my own money.
Look, a year's salary right here. What I call them? Fun coupons.
So I am fully transparent, as is the project. You'll get to know this through the conversation I had with James, who is running the media and utility side of the project. I'm going to assume that some of you might not know much about NFTs at all, and that's okay, don't worry.
Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm!
I'm hoping that by the end of this video, you will have a much better idea and feel more comfortable with the process and concept of NFTs. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Right, let's kick off with introducing my friend James and the story behind Barely Bears, how it all got started, what James's involvement is in the project, and an overall insight into what to expect.
The project is heavily inspired by cartoons and animation throughout the ages. Ori, who's the artist, who's the founder of the project, he's been working in animation for 10 years now. He's got different friends in the project who he brings out for inspiration. And we're just building on this kind of archive that he's got in his brain of all these different art styles, and he'll reel them off far better than me. I'm not so into the like deep art aspect of it. I'm the more technical kind of roadmap and utility side of things.
Now, as part of buying an NFT, you also get all sorts of utilities and incentives in owning these NFTs, and that's where things get a little bit more fun. James is going to use some terminology throughout this video, so I want to make sure you understand what they mean, just in case you don't. First of all, what is minting? Minting is the process of actually creating an NFT, because a lot of them are computer generated using smart contracts.
When you buy an NFT, you are buying a pre-made NFT that already exists. Right. But in a 10K project, that NFT is not made yet. You don't know what you're buying because you're basically rolling the dice. It's potluck. You could get a ultra rare, or you could get a common. You could get a common that looks really cool and you totally vibe with it. Anything from legendary to common, and the assets will stack up. So for example, this nose is common. This hat is legendary. This background is legendary, but the clothing are uncommon and the knife is common. It's stacking these up, and you get these sites called rarity tools who then assign a rarity number. What is the rarest bear? What is the number one? And we don't know. We literally don't know what it could be. You are rolling dice and creating that via interacting with our smart contract, which executes the script to then randomly generate a bear. You are minting it, so it goes straight to your wallet. It's like buying a car, right? It's got one owner already. Whereas when you mint from source, 10K project, you're going straight to the smart contract, you are the first owner.
The smart contract contains all of the coded assets that create an image and randomly generates the combination of these assets to create an entire image. That process is done by a computer, and that process is called minting. So the traditional painting or drawing used to be called painting or drawing.
No f***ing way.
Now it's done by a computer, not by hand, using assets and code to generate a piece of digital art. Let's talk about 10K.
It basically means you create assets and different asset classes. You design a background, and you have 10 different backgrounds. You design a bear and its fur color. You design a nose, a mouth, a hat, accessory, whatever. And you write a script which then randomly generates 10,000 different units, or bears in this case.
Think of it this way. There will be 10,000 individual unique bears with different assets and attributes in the piece of digital art, which we, the consumers, will have to generate or mint. We won't know what we are minting until it is minted, because it's randomly generated. And this is where the fun begins. Yippee! So by now, I'm hoping you understand what minting is and what the 10K part of the project is. Now, what is the project's roadmap? What are they trying to achieve? What are the steps? James, You explain.
Summarize Belly Bears is a little complicated because it has been expanded and built out over, since May. But we have a phase one, a Genesis collection is the NFT term, which has 111 bears. They are one of one. They're hand drawn as the complete bear. Apart from Bear 100, the first 99 bears, we sent a copy of Bear 100 for free to the first 99 bears. So Bear 100 is not a one of one, it's a 99 edition. Then we have 101 through to 111, which are still being released at the moment. Then phase two, which we are going to release on the 3rd of January, is a 10K generative project. The way that 10K projects work is you have mint. If it's ridiculously overpopulated, then the price will completely surge. But if it's a typical project, the price will dip a little bit after mint. You'll get your flippers who are out, just offload, get red. If I can make my money back, great. I didn't get a rare. I get my money back. I rolled the dice. I could have got a rare and made a load of money, but I didn't. The real community will then absorb those into their wallets, and then the price will slowly go up. So that's the typical kind of flow for a 10K. And the reason that the 10K bears will be cheaper than the Genesis collection bears is because of scarcity. So they have intrinsically more value, plus they have intrinsically more utility because they were there first.
So let's ask James what utilities and incentives the project will provide owners of these NFTs.
We've got a load of different interesting assets. This is another one. We've got an Ethereum nose. If you are one of the first 5 bears to mint a bear with an Ethereum nose, you instantly get 0.25 Ethereum sent to your account. So that's 5x what you paid. Little fun utilities like that we're building. If you get the pizza trait, it's a tiny, it takes up such a small part of the screen. But if you get that, we basically have a pizza party every week for 6 months. We send you money to have pizza with us, and we basically just get on a live call and just hang out. Because hanging out virtually in your community is going to be the new way of hanging out. We've already seen it with kids growing up these days, just on Fortnite the whole time. That is, they get home from school, bang, they're on Fortnite and they're chatting with their mates while playing a game. It's virtual cultures and virtual communities. And then finally, this is the ultra legendary, and I think the only ultra legendary we're going to launch with. It's Ori's briefcase. So it's a solid gold briefcase. Ori used to be made fun of at school because he didn't have a backpack, he had a briefcase, which is part of his childhood and made him who he is. And he thought he'd turn that into something a bit fun. So if you mint a legendary, ultra legendary suitcase, briefcase bear, then you're in for a big surprise. If you mint a bear from our 10K project come 3rd of Jan with a Belly Bears t-shirt, you instantly get a care package from our merchandise shop, which is one of our 25% goals. So when the project is 25% sold out, we then have a merch shop go live with different products. And if you are holding a bear with a Belly Bears t-shirt at that time, we'll take a snapshot, it's called. So that's just a print screen basically of who holds those assets at that particular time. Snapshot is the term. And we will then contact you, get in touch, and send out a care package of stuff for you.
So those are some of the traits to look out for when you mint your 10K. Now let's quickly search for it on OpenSea. Barely Bears. You will find Barely Bears with 108 items on the top of the list, which is the real project. Below are, I don't know what they are, to be honest.
A fraud!
People have tried to replicate Barely Bears project. I think they're scammers, which in a way is a compliment to the project because it suggests that people are already trying to replicate it and piggyback off it to make money. Please be careful. I'm disclosing the project I'm involved with, and that is the top one over here. These are not the real project. Be careful. So when phase 2 was launched, the 10K, people were able to create and mint their own new Barely Bear without knowing what it will be, in hope that they will mint a bear that has rare attributes. So let's have a look at my personal collection. These are my Barely Bears. So as you can see, number 349, this bear has hair, a snake, a gi. Is it gi? A G? A G? Gi?
Karate-gi.
Now, if we click into it, we can see below over here in the properties, the rarity of these attributes. So for example, the snake over here, 1% of the 10,000 bears that will be generated in the 10K phase will have a snake, which is fairly rare. Some of the other attributes are 7%, 4%. These aren't exactly rare. I did, however, get lucky in minting a bear that has a very rare attribute, and that is this one over here. Now, this randomly generated 10K bear contains an attribute called pipe. So this pipe over here is very rare. 0.27% of the 10,000 bears that will be generated will have this pipe. So that's a very, very rare attribute. What does this mean? It means that in the future, because it's a rare attribute, it may go up in value. Now, of course, ultimately, everybody wants the project that they're invested in to take off and become the next CryptoPunk. Of course, I'd love that, and I welcome that to happen with Barely Bears. But to be honest with you, as much as I'd love that to happen, these bears have become sentimental to me. I actually enjoy owning them, and I haven't even put them up for sale, and I don't really intend to. It's something that I hope does well in the future, and one day I can say, yeah, I own one of the original Barely Bears. So that's my collection of Barely Bears. Now, to be very secure and make sure you buy the real official Barely Bear or whatever project you may be buying, make sure you're on their real OpenSea page. Visit their page and they will have a link to their website or wherever it is that you can mint them from. So there we have it. That's the Barely Bears project. Thank you so much to James for sharing all of that with us. Like I said, my goal for this video was to just show you what a real project looks like. Passionate people who are doing it not for just making money or whatever it may be, but because they're passionate about the project, they love their project, and they build a community, an exciting community where people get to know each other on Discord, chat, share similar passions and interests. Guys, this is the NFT world, and this is just the beginning. Because this is the first project that I've been involved with, I'd love to hear what other projects are out there. So if you know of any, please comment down below. Let me know what other things are out there that you're a part of. And if you'd like me to do more videos on NFTs, I'd be happy to do so. Just drop down a comment or leave a like on this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you very soon.